Hello and welcome. My name is Chrono, and today we are going to be going over two of the things that showed up in the mail that were supposed to be arriving on Christmas but showed up late because, hey, it's the holidays, and yeah, that's pretty much par for the course, so I'm just glad they're here. So, one of these is something that showed up during the Clone Wars. Actually, both of these showed up in the Clone Wars. I'm going to be reviewing one of these at a time, so there's going to be another video that's after this one. But just know that they both came from the Clone Wars, so I got like two of these. This one you'll see in the next one when it comes out. There you go. So this is an official Lego, because this isn't a normal Lego box. Now, what this is a Lego set that... Okay then. So there's another recording that I did at some point. It's older. Assuming I didn't already pass it already. Sorry, memory's a bit of a fickle thing at times. But what it is that there is a custom Hailfire droid that I made a video for. I got it on Jay's LT Customs. This isn't from the same thing. I got this on Amazon. Personally, though, like Jay's LT Customs, if you're watching this, hey, a good thing to do would be putting on this thing. So I'm actually going to see if I could show you. So right there is the item in question. The thing is going to be in the title. So let me just get out the bags. As I said, this is a custom set, which yeah, I'm glad I'm recording this because I was not expecting to see this. So when I ordered this, I did not actually expect there to be custom figures in here. Well, this makes things interesting. So I was gonna say this is what this. Sorry, I'm a bit scatterbrained at the moment. Sorry. This is supposed to be a custom build of an LAAT/LE version of a Republic gunship. During the Clone Wars, the Republic armies had two different types of gunships. Both were LAATs. I can't remember the name of what the acronym stands for. I'm sorry. I'm annoyed at myself. I will put it in the damn description. I will do it there, okay? Leave me alone. But there was a difference between the two models. The one that we're typically used to, like the white and like red one that's constantly seen throughout the entirety of the Clone Wars, that is labeled as the IE version, which is the infantry enforcement, I think. But this one is the law enforcement. However, it wasn't. So this thing was like used for patrols and stuff like that. It was a really cool thing to see when I actually saw it for the first time. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna get into building this. I'll build it in sections as I go. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. But yeah, because I do have another recording to do. And my God. Okay, another thing to note is that because of the fact that this is a custom build, all the parts are kind of, like, they're kind of separated, yes, but they're not numbered. So I don't have any numbered bags. I don't have anything to help me ID things again. So hang on, let me take a look. Another thing to note, the instructions here, as you can see, they are very tiny. And there's actually 2 pages for this one. I have gotten this before, this kind of thing before. I have, multiple times. In fact, there's actually some recordings that I have yet to do. I plan on bringing you that stuff. Don't worry, it's coming soon. You're gonna have to be patient. I'm still thinking about whether or not I actually want to redo the footage for the modified Captain Rex's ATTE set that I did last year. Yeah, it's been in the works for a bit. I love the build, but the recording, I'm still thinking about that. I want to make sure that when I do that stuff, you guys get a good show, because I put a lot of work into that. But yeah, so bear with me throughout the recording and when I'm doing stuff, because this is going to be, it's not that I can't do it. I've done this before multiple times. Like, there's a number of things. I really look forward to showing those builds when I'm able to get the time to do the recordings for them and then put it on the channel for you guys. But this is going to be a bit of a process. Thankfully, I actually took precautions when it came to being mindful of what I'm doing with this build and recording this time. Thank you for being properly prepared. Let's see. Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna have to unpackage everything. All right, so give me a minute. I will get back to it when I can, or at least I get to certain points, because this is unofficial, like, Lego. So, like, because you can take a look at here. Don't know. You can pause it if you want. None of the pieces here have the branding of it on it. It's just smooth, which kind of I like, but I'm not pressing. Yeah, I'll be back, so that way I can do the build. I'm going to show you what it's like, and then I'm going to talk about it and do a comparison. Because Lego actually made a set of this gunship before, but I'm actually thinking they may have potentially made this one better. So yeah, I'll talk to you in a bit. I am so glad that part of me wasn't recording for that, because I did swear a bit, and YouTube probably would get pissy with me at my current point in time as where I am with my channel. However, I just saw something really cool in the thing, because, again, as I mentioned before, I did not know that there were custom figures in this set. And I just noticed that they have custom blasters. I am a happy man. That is really cool. Sorry about that. I'll get back to you when I'm done, or get a good chunk of this build. Actually, you know what? Tell you what. This whole build has at least 16... No. Way off number. What am I doing? This page stops at 64. This one stops at 133. So at around 64, I'll be right back with you all. Till then. Okay, so I'm back for a moment. I'm on step 5. I know that doesn't seem that long for you, but for me, it's been a bit, because I had to disassemble something because I did something wrong, and I also did make sure I went back and got some brick separators just in case I needed them. Again, a note to the thing, again, this is custom stuff. This is unofficial Lego, so there's going to be some parts. There's going to be a bit of discrepancy. I think that's the right word, between some parts. So this is somewhat loose, but hopefully it will still hold, and I will make sure of that. There's a missing step here. Okay. Okay, so pay attention, because this is for step... Oh, no, I'm just blind. Never mind. Never mind. Don't mind me at all. I am just blind. You can see from my glasses. I don't have any vision, and I am not paying attention to what I am doing. I've been doing this for way too long of a time, and yet I'm still doing goofs. Dang it. Ah. There you are. Okay. Okay, interesting. Okay, so this little assembly here, you'll notice. So I'm not too mad with this, and one of these is somewhat slightly loose, but honestly, it could be worse. So let me just get this, because I have a feeling I know exactly what's going to be happening here. Actually, let me try and see if I can pinpoint. Maybe not. Where are these pieces? Wait. Ah, never mind. Okay. Okay then, never mind. Okay, so that's all good. But yeah, I'll be right back to it around step 64. Okay, so I am at, let's see, step 20. So right here, hang on, no, okay, so right here, it says you need to get this, but this assembly is on the way, and it's like one of these connection points. So for the sake of the build, I will tell you this, especially if you want to get one of these for yourself, just take off this assembly here, do this, and then let it adjust, reattach that assembly, and then let it be like that, and then you're good. So remember, this is a bit of advice in regards to reaching step 20 of the build, okay? I will see you when I'm back at 64. Okay, never mind. I thought I'd be back at 64, but no, we're at a little bit of a thing here. So on step 21, it's gonna say that you, give me a minute. So, bear with me. So around this step, it's hard to see, but there's like a little red 1x1 tile, and it's supposed to says you need to have this for this whole assembly here. The question is, where does it go? I will tell you where it is. So, hang on. It's supposed to go like this. Now what I'm doing is building one of the side panels on that stuff. So whatever it is, this part is when you're at your step, when you get yours, if you get yours, of course, make sure you be mindful of that. Pay attention closely to the instructions because it does show it in the model, in the diagram. However, when you first go over it, if you're speeding through it, you're gonna be like, hey, where do I put this piece? Hey, where do I put this piece? And I'm gonna say, hey, look at the thing, it'll show you. So, yeah, let me make sure. So it's like that. Yeah, because I'm looking at it, so you should see it on the diagram when it goes like this. This is flip for me, so it should be like this and all that whatnot. You'll see it. If I can make you see, there should be a little dot, and it's gonna be like that, if that makes sense. So, just a heads up, in case you get that, because I saw it and I figured I might as well let you guys know about it in case you get one of these and you get confused when you're looking at the instructions later. It's gonna be something that's easy to miss, but it's why we're here, all right? And if you are building this thing and you are confused, feel free to come and back to this video and look through till this moment so you can see what the problem is. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm doing this. So that I know there's some people who might get confused. It happens. There's nothing to be ashamed of. All right? Now, I will try to be as quick as I can about this to get to 64, and I will continue talking about this more. But I will also keep on popping up every now and then to make sure I show you stuff that is in this video. Right, in this video, what am I saying? Little potential issues and things you could actually make a mistake for. Any potential mistakes or possible issues that you may encounter while assembling this thing for yourself if you get one of these. There we go. Sorry about that, as I was. Okay, kind of back for a moment. So I made a mistake. So there's a 2x2 tile here that was supposed to be here. I realized earlier that I showed this thing and it was missing that piece. And I was having issue because I was assembling this thing and putting it on to here, and it wasn't fitting. And I realized, oh, that feels weird. So I went back, realized I made a mistake. So yeah, figured I'd go and say that just so I clear up any confusion with that one. My bad. Okay, so I'm here for a moment again because there's an assembly here that might be a bit finicky, and I figured I'd go and be talking about this. So it's step 37. We have, if I could not fall over, that'd be great. 37 here. So right here I have the thing. So it wonders, how do you get that in there? Well, you slot this thing in first, and then you do that. Now, here's the thing, why I'm here. Now, there is a similar one of these that goes in here, yeah? But with it comes, I need to find the piece, sorry, my bad. One of these. And it may be a bit of an assembly, so I'm gonna do it on camera so you can see, but also note, you gotta be careful if you plan on disassembling this later, so. Because this is a bit of a weird little assembly thing. Which means if you're ever going to want to disassemble this, know this part's going to be a bit of a bit. So notice how that's a bit of a strain. Got to be careful of that. So I'm just going to do this. And then the assembly's there. This is a bit of a tricky one right here, given how you assemble that. Because before you did, there's this piece here, and I think the only way you could potentially do that is if you were to maybe, oh, actually that's sturdy, never mind. So yeah, no, if you wanted to disassemble it, you're gonna have to be mindful of these parts right here. Yep. Gotta go like that, and that, and then just do whatever it is that I did to get this thing in there in reverse. Okay? Just be careful you don't break it. You know? But yeah, I figured I'd go and do that while I'm here and I'm recording, so that way you guys can see this. Because I imagine there's going to be a few people that are going to be like, okay, cool, I've run into a bit of a roadblock. How do I do this? And yeah. So yeah. It is interesting. It does make it sturdy, because yeah, that's not going anywhere unless you know what you're doing to disassemble that section. But yeah, so, and this, I believe, goes, yeah, look at that. This is really coming together. Let me just scan over this stuff real quick. I'll be back later in case I need to tell you guys anything and show you guys anything like, hey, there's something here you're gonna want to see. But yeah, I'll see you around step 64 potentially. All right. We have a bit of decent stuff to talk about at the moment. So I made it to step 64. Here is currently what we have. And what we have is a pretty decent setup here for the body. I'm genuinely intrigued by how they have this set up. And I know there's more, because there's another page here. I just got finished with this one. But yeah. And there is a little thing that I noticed while assembling this. Hang on. Nope, that's actually been made perfectly steady now, I think. Yep. There was a little bit of a structure thing, and at first I was bothered by it and worried about it, but then they fixed it as I kept on going, so go. But this, so I actually used a technique in this similar, so you'll notice how this is just a little bit off-center. It's not quite fully set, and the way that they did that is through this, because look, they have it set so these two things are going around that circular part right there, so it just goes and it locks it like so. So it's just a little bit off center. And then this thing is going to go, if I can finagle it in there. Shimmy in there, you. Okay, I got it. All right. And there we are. So there's that. Now, I still have more of a ways to go, but it's really cool to see how this is coming together. This is a custom build. This isn't official Lego. Lego did make one of these before. And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? This thing looks decently sized. Now, bear in mind, hang on. I did bring cut figures because I didn't know that it actually came with figures. So, this is a 501st Heavy Trooper. He's got a custom blaster because I gave him one. You can just put one of these guys in here. If I could just angle him right. He has a big blaster, which is kind of screwing things up a bit for me slightly. See? Actually has some decent room in here. And then you just pop them back out. But yeah, this thing isn't done yet, and it's still beautiful to see how well this is going so far. And I'm thinking about how the images that I saw, because there is a bit of a difference compared to what this one is. Like, very noticeable in some areas, but it's still really cool to see. Okay, let's see, while I get some of this set up. I finally got to set up some of the sections that I wanted to do. Where are you? Where are you? You were, there you were. Just go and do that. And then that. They had a different kind of setup for these compared to the, you can look it up. Where are the other ones? Yeah, get these pieces. Oh, there they are. And those pieces. But yeah, it looks like that I have some side panels to work on. I'm trying not to break this. There we go. That's good. And then there is another section. Actually, no, there's multiple sections here that I have to assemble because I have to get like some of the wings that are on this that are surrounding it, and then there's oh, look at that. I love this because I feel like this is a much better and improvement, much more of an improvement compared to the one that Lego made. Not saying that one was bad. I'm just thinking that this one feels better. And it's not even done yet. And again, I could be wrong. Who knows? I might tell you what. If I'm able to get the funds for it, I'll go and see if I can get another one. Get the official one that Lego made on eBay. I will see if I can do that. But yeah. Hang on, can I get at least something cool that I've been wanting to get assembled here done? Yeah, maybe, yes, no, maybe so. Hold up. This one back I didn't open just in case I don't want to deal with any such things. This is a really nice piece here. Apparently the ones that are used by like cops, like this is supposed to be like in red, but personally I don't mind having this thing be in this color because there were some that were just used for patrol. They weren't used for like police work, anything, and it just goes. Look at that. And it just goes and pops up, and then that, There you go. All right, let me take a look at a few things here, make sure everything's all good, and then I will be back. I will come back every now and then while I'm in the midst of this, and we can talk about what I found while I have been building. All right. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Tell you what. Considering where we're at right now, I'm at step 70. When I reach step 100, I will be back for a little bit, and then after that, scratch that. 103. I will be back at 103 if I can. All right. See you in a bit. Okay. So I've got good news and I've got bad news, and it's nothing for the set. The set's still great. The problem here is we just have a matter of an issue with some of the pieces holding. So, but I did assemble part of this ahead of time. And there you see the one that I was talking about. So yeah, this piece right here, the connection point here to that is a bit loose. So it is likely to fall off. I'm going to fix this. I am going to fix this. And I might, one of the things, actually, you know what? I might see if I have putty. Some putty might work. Because it's just a matter of it just being loose and just wants to fall off. Because there's not enough friction on it for it to stay. I mean, aside from that, it's still really cool. And there's that minor issue, but aside from that, this is still cool. It's coming together really, really well, and I'm happy to see that. Hang on a sec. Let me just fix something here, because this is going to bug me. Little stand. I will see about figuring out a fix to this, because that's what I do. Because whenever I get a set, and whether it's an official one or a non-official one, if there's something that's wrong with it, I'm going to see what I can do to fix it. And this one should be a relatively simple fix. And that's just the fact of figuring out a way to make sure this thing has enough friction for it to stay on to the thing. Aside from that, look at this. This is beautiful so far. So I'm really looking forward to how this is going to be when it's done. I'm at 103. Technically, I've already taken care of 4 of the steps to get to 133. So I've taken care of steps 130 through 33. Meaning I have steps 104 to 29 to do, and then I'm complete. After that, it'll just be the minifigures, and we will get to those too. All right, so sit tight. I'll be back, and we will get back to it. All right, it's done. Now we just have the figures to take care of, but I'm sure that's going to be perfectly fine. Look at this thing. This is an LAAT LE gunship. As I said before, they were typically used for patrolling and not typically used for military use, although when the Empire took over, they did start doing so. Now, in addition to that, we also got some custom minifigures of some shock troopers, which are interesting. I actually have some from one of my, I have my own shock troopers. I have like the really, really old ones. But in addition to that, I also have like some of the newer ones. You know what I'm talking about. If you've seen my channel, you know exactly which one I'm referring to. And these guys come with some weaponry. Let's see. So Be careful with that. All right. Hold on. Sorry about that. I had to deal with something. But yeah. Where was it? Right. Look at this. This is a custom shock trooper, aka the Coruscant Guard, in Phase 2. And they're armed with a DC-15 LE blast rifle and a DC-15 carbine. Either that or it looks like... No, that's a carbine. Yeah. That's pretty cool. We got that. And hang on. Let me get the other one out. Let me get that one out. Oh. The helmet just decided to pop on. So I'll go do that. And that. Let me get this one. And then there's this one. Whoops. They got little base plates for them, which is cool. So we got... Whoopsie. These two guys. But we also got an Anakin Skywalker, which is pretty cool. Now... Oh, this plastic thing. Come on, damn it. It's interesting, they give you some flesh-colored hands for Anakin, considering he wore gloves. Ooh, okay, yeah. Oh, there it is. And he's got two lightsabers, which is another interesting thing, and a hood. Check it. This is beautifully well done. Beautifully well done. And what's more, he has Sith eyes. So there's that. Let me put on the hood as well. Let's see how that goes and looks. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Alrighty then. So we got some bonus figures. I didn't even know these came in the set. Okay, and I'm just gonna adjust your... We're gonna do that. So we got these guys plus this. And what's more, let me get into this thing, yeah? So this can open up from either side for people to get on. There's the hatch. There are flick fire missiles, well, not the flick fire, but there are missiles, hang on, that you can put in there. This thing is beautifully detailed, and scale. I'm not going to put a guy in there. I'm more focused on this, and I do need to get recording on another video as well. Also, sorry if there's a weird background noise in there. Hopefully that's all right. But yeah, when it comes to this thing, this is just a really cool set. Now, Lego did make another one of these years ago. Now, because of this, we've had to think about this. We've had a lot more advancements in like Lego bricks and new parts coming out and all that whatnot. So it does bring us more opportunities for us to go and take a look at things at a different angle and figure out a way to improve it. This was custom made. And I'm remembering and seeing certain differences compared to the original set that Lego made compared to this one. And what I can say is that they did a pretty good job of actually upgrading this thing, in my opinion. I don't know if it's the same size. If it is, like, it's still cool to see. There are some good figures. And what's cool to note is that I think the original Lego set that they made had two shock troopers, two shock clone troopers, and one Anakin Skywalker. So if they're doing that, in reference to that, that's also a nice touch. I like that. I really do. But yeah, this is a really cool thing to have, because it wasn't just used for the military, it was also used in patrols, and even the Empires used them as well for their own sort of gunship, aside from like a TIE fighters flying around and all that whatnot. It was just really cool to see this stuff, because, yeah, even in the days of the Empire, they still took some of the equipment that the Republic used, and they either adapted it or improvised it. So, yeah, there's that. As for the price and would I get one of these, I would if you want one of these. It is on Amazon, and I think it was at a reasonable price too. The only drawbacks that I would have with this is some parts seem to be a bit loose. If you're able to do that, maybe like some putty or something like that, be mindful and responsible with what you're doing with that. You'll be fine. Aside from that, this is a pretty good one. I'm happy to have it. Though I now have the problem is trying to figure out where in the hell I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna have a less issue with the spider droid. Yes, that's what this is. This is a homing spider droid. Next video. It'll be around, I think it's the 14th, 15th, whatever. It's Thursday end of the week. Next week, which is when this will be uploaded, you'll be seeing this one, and the week after that, you'll be seeing the homing spider droid. So yeah, that's gonna be something. All right. Thank you all for watching, if indeed you still are. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. This is Chrono, signing off.